Does that mug say world's okayest dad? Get off me, damn it! Bring it! So this is how it feels to be exactly the target demographic for something. Strange. I'm scared. This is a Bat family-centric webcomic on Webtoon, and I'm 100% for it, but by no means is gonna be for everybody. Well, let's talk about it. Greetings, comic lovers, and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from music comics new and old, to history to anecdotes, truly wherever our whims take us. So firstly, yes, this is official. That's a question that I've seen pop up since I posted an image of it. There is some confusion surrounding it, which is understandable because of a couple of factors. One, while DC did announce that it had made a deal with Webtoon, for many it slipped below the radar. DC Comics hasn't been great about getting news out there to the general masses time of recording. This launch was also very much a sneak attack. The deal was announced late August 2021, with the statement made that it will appeal to all fans without the need to know or read any previous stories. DC Comics Senior Vice President and General Manager Daniel Cherry III stated, "DC is excited to introduce our iconic characters to a new generation of fans worldwide." And then 3 weeks later, September 8th, 2021, it launched. The sneak attack. The first comic to be dropped as part of this deal was Batman, which is hardly surprising. Batman everything. Too much Batman. And yet I read and buy it all. I'm the reason there is too much Batman. Now this Batman comic would center around the Bat family, a la Lil Gotham. The synopsis went as follows. Webtoon Entertainment Inc., the world's #1 webcomic platform, is releasing the first webtoon set in the DC universe, Batman Wayne Family Adventures. Batman needs a break, but with new vigilante Duke Thomas moving into Wayne Manor and an endless supply of adopted, fostered, and biological vigilante children to manage, Bruce Wayne is gonna have his hands full. Being a father can't be harder than being Batman, right? The first 3 chapters were released, and they're free to read with promises of updates every Thursday. There are 3 more available on the app time of recording, and you can get fast pass access to them by buying them with coins, or you can just wait. Side note, these read a lot better on the app. It has a good mobile interface. It's written by CRC Payne with art by Starbite, aka Rhett Bloom, which is where the second part of this confusion came in. The artist has done fan art and has a style that many will recognize from that circle, so it looks kind of fan-ish, or what one would expect from a fan comic, for people do make fan comics about the Bat family. In fact, the entire concept and execution felt very fan-made to some, which again lent itself to the confusion. Even the content and tropes employed therein, some are drawn directly from the fanfiction fandom surrounding the Bat family. Things like Tim Drake being a coffee addict, or Bruce Wayne not being able to cook. Though that one varies, there are different schools of thought. Some feel that Alfred would make sure he at least knew the fundamentals, and some feel that he secretly knows how to cook all the things but just has no time. Different headcanons. Now fanon, simply defined, means the canon of fandom, a collection of concepts and ideas that are normally used in most fanfiction but don't really exist in the real story's canon. Although that last part is slightly misleading because many of these headcanons don't come out of nowhere. Some do, but many have roots in the canon itself. So for some fans, this work is going to feel instantly familiar, and like more than they could have asked for or ever expected. And others will find an appeal in a light-hearted Bat family romp. Something to cleanse the palate from the darkness and grit, and something where you don't have to worry too much about the established canon because it's doing its own thing. It's like an isolated bubble of fluff. Of course, these are the same things that could be off-putting to some people. Some vehemently reject anything to do with the transformative side of fandom, fan fiction, fan art, shipping, and so for some this may feel like an invasion, a legitimacy of a side of fandom that they don't want acknowledged, and a concern with that legitimacy, potentially some of these ideas may become canon. Tim drinking coffee every panel. This is also a very slice of life comic, and that genre is not everybody's cup of tea, especially with characters who you're more used to seeing in an action adventure style setting, with some family stuff and character development sprinkled in, but not normally at the fore. Basically the dynamic balance is flipped. Character introspection and kind of slice of life first, action adventure backseat. The characterizations also veer more into the fanon, or just a more lighthearted presentation for those not familiar with the fanon. This is of the happy Bat family, because there's a different one for a dysfunctional Bat family. But what is this comic actually like? Well, let's take a look at the first chapter, and actually they're very quick reads. So if you enjoy it, it leaves you in a I need more scenario, I can't wait till next Thursday. And if you didn't, at least you can say you didn't waste that much time. But let's explore the Wayne family. I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Join us in this comic book journey. We open on Duke moving into Wayne Manor. Duke is the Signal, the Determiner is very DC. He first appeared during the New 52, first as a child in Batman 21 in 2014, and later as Duke Thomas in Batman 30. He was also Robin in 2015 in the We Are Robin event. He became the Signal in 2018 in the miniseries Batman and the Signal. He was created by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. He's a character that many people forget exists, so if you like him, it's gonna be nice to see him getting some love. And if you're unaware of him or don't care for him, it'll be, huh? What? Why? Duke? I legit thought that Duke was gonna come back to the forefront when there were those rumors about Black Batman. And by rumors, I mean the thing that everybody knew was gonna happen. But no, hi Jace, don't call me Tim Fox. Gotham's newest vigilante is his tagline. Man, I'd be stressed. There's always new vigilantes popping up in Gotham. Bruce Wayne, aka the freaking Batman. Duke's mentor. Alfred Pennyworth, aka the butler. He's the best of them. Yes, he is. Finally, the respect Alfred deserves. They foist Duke off on Damian for a tour, and we'll get back to Damian in a bit. I do love the page of Alfred literally shoving Duke towards him. The family, minus Barbara Gordon, Stephanie Brown, Luke Fox, and Kate Kane. Father has been meaning to get the portrait updated. This silhouette portrait amuses me far more than it should. Damian details that him, Bruce, and Alfred, and now Duke, are the only permanent residents of Wayne Manor, and that the others kind of come in and out, which will provide a nice drop-in structure for the characters throughout this comic. And does this room suit you? What if Duke said no? Give me 2 rooms! Father sometimes hosts parties here to maintain his identity. There's so much small talk, it's terrible. They explore the Batcave and Damian manages to convince Duke that the dinosaur is there to eat people. It's meant to be funny, and for some it will land, and for others it'll be too silly. That's too silly, that's enough of this then. Whoa, cool. He also tells them to be careful on the grounds because there's booby traps. Welcome to the manor, suppose. Duke is set right by Bruce that no, the dinosaur doesn't eat people, but the booby trap's 100% real. The dinosaur is just a souvenir, a cool decoration. Now this is supportive Batman and Bruce Wayne, which is a characterization that has existed, but is often buried by other more angsty portrayals. So if you like or buy supportive Bat Dad who wants the best for his children because he views them like that in this, then this was made for you. Episode 2 is about the Bat fam battling it out for the last cookie, using their training to try and get it. Also say hello to White Hair Streak Jason. Episode 3 is about Barbara having breakfast with her dad as he's asking her about her life and she's answering, but then we're shown that she's referring to her activities as Oracle. Stephanie appears in this one, so we're slowly unveiling Bat family members. As you can imagine, people are waiting for Dick. There's been lots of questions. Where's Nightwing? There's been concerns, like where is he? It's also very nice to see just Barbara and her father vibing at breakfast. The last breakfast I read was Batgirl 50 and it hurt my soul. So far, it's super wholesome. So I'm not gonna lie, this is right up my alley. Heck, I am the alley. It's a manifestation of a tone and concept many seek out in fan fiction because they wish a bit more time was given to it in canon. And now here it is in its own space in that tone. It's kind of surreal. Now, of course, if you had no desire for this angle or don't find it appealing, then this will not be for you. Though it may surprise you and you may find yourself enjoying it anyway for the levity and the lightness. You never know unless you give it a go and it's free. Also, some might find the art a bit simplistic, i.e. some of the panels having pure white backgrounds, while others will feel that it fits right in as a webcomic. Now there are some who, while they may enjoy the concept, have also expressed concerns about characterization, feeling like the characters don't feel that distinct from one another or that they are repeating tropes within them. Or that even if something is slice of life or domestic or feel good, it still needs to have a bit more meat on its bones. Now time of recording, this may build over time, we'll have to wait and see, although it may just remain a big giant fluffball. There are also concerns that this will ruin Webtoon, strip it of its uniqueness, turn into a marketing enterprise for pre-established properties, as DC has stated this is just their first Webtoon. And of course, some will still find this confusing because of how it launched. Even with the DC logo and everything all over it, there are still some who are asking, is this a fan comic? People are worrying that this person's gonna get sued. And then because of that, some have questions about canon. Speaking of which, let's briefly chat about Damian. He's fallen into a little bit of a quagmire in some circles. As one can see, Damian here is depicted with a darker skin tone than usual. Now some are lauding this, saying that this is how he should look, while others state he doesn't match how Talia has been depicted. Though we have yet to see Talia in this universe, so she may be darker. And there have been some who feel that that's how Talia and Ray should look, while others argue that the diaspora of the region they hail from is more complex than is being acknowledged, especially depending upon the time period, while others argue that this is about representation. Now some feel that while Damian should be darker than Bruce, he shouldn't be as dark as this. So some feel this depiction is as odd as this depiction, but for a different reason. This could be one of those cases where people are having different types of discussions, i.e. canon versus representation, vs art style, vs history. There are many angles that you could come at this from. Because of that, these discussions can actually end up veering into very hurtful territory. Territory that can be misogynistic or colorist to multiracial and biracial people, who in reality can and do look many different ways regardless of mix or how one would assume it would turn out. And these discussions can end up making it sound like if someone is lighter or darker than one would expect, that there's something wrong with them. Even if that is not the intent and the focus is meant to be on the characterization of this particular character in this world. Again, people can be having different combos and you'll have a variety of reasons as to why some feel that he should be lighter or darker. However, the climate around this discussion's time of recording is also highly charged. That could also add to feelings and things and events and arguments. It's become a topic of discussion in some circles, and we're gonna talk about it, for we are Sophisticated, I don't know. Discuss. The personality they've given Damien is nice. This Damien wouldn't call a woman a harlot. He's abrasive and off-putting and bratty, but not psychotic. This really worked for me. It left me feeling really happy and pepped up. Tell me how you feel about this series down below. Are you just waiting for Nightwing? Are you counting the days till next Thursday, time of recording? Do you agree that Alfred would win the cookie fight? Or was it not for you? Do you not like it? Please take it back. You want your money back even though it was free. You want your time back. Do you just not think it's gonna land? Talk to me down below, and while you're down there, please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time of your day spent discussing comics with me. I always appreciate it, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. I did like a Spock steeple there for a minute. I don't know why. Bye.